think some of y'all deserve an explanation for what I mean here. Because I'm not really sure what I mean here, but I'm going to do my best. First of all, I'm just like a goofy guy. Okay, so that's number one. That's what that means. Number two, I'm a reflector in human design. My body graph looks like this. Behold. So you see all these white centers? We call these undefined centers, and they're like microphones. They're very feminine, they're receptive. I'm absorbing people's inspiration. I'm absorbing their stress, their sexual energy, their emotional energy, their ego, their identities, the way that they speak and manifest things, the way that they think, and the way that they keep themselves alive and healthy. I'm a man that is, in essence, in my centers, very feminine, very absorbing and receptive to all the energy around me. So when I heard this freaking song, and it's like, oh, yeah, I'm a man and I'm in love with a human girl, but she doesn't know that I'm actually a half horse. That's kind of how I've felt my entire life. Not that I'm like, oh, I'm kind of part a lady, but just that I'm not really like any other man, or at least, I just don't think I'm like a lot of other men out there. I was always just naturally like much more receptive and in touch with my emotions to the degree of like being how you say drowned out by my emotions, where typically men are sort of more suppressive of their emotions. I was much more accepting and understanding than a lot of the people around me. And by people around me, I mean other men. And yeah, I just kind of always felt out of place and I never really knew why. But then I started studying human design. And instead of feeling out of place, I started to feel unique. I started to feel differentiated. And I started learning human design probably about 10 years ago now. And so I'm 10 years deep into what human design calls the deconditioning process. Your body graph will probably look something more like this, where you have a combination of defined centers and undefined centers. The deconditioning process helps us do two things. Number one, remove samples that get stuck in these undefined centers so that they can be free again, so that they can be the playgrounds rather than the prison cells of your life. And it helps you become more aware of the times and areas where you suppress your own definition. In this instance, this is suppressing your own sacral energy for the sake of others, or changing your direction or not moving in the direction that you need to go, or having the identity that you actually have so that you can make other people happy, or not sharing something that you know you need to share, or vice versa. Knowing you're not supposed to share something, but just sharing it anyways. Conditioning is an incredibly insidious thing because it's a survival mechanism. However, sometimes you're surviving when you have the opportunity to thrive, but you're so good with being good that you never get along to being great. Now, the deconditioning process is not about like healing your trauma or fixing your trauma. The deconditioning process is about seeing how your trauma or how the stress in your life or the impact of things in your life has affected you and caused you to adopt these sort of artificial or adaptive strategies just to survive. When you start to see the way that you show up in the world, and then you start to experiment with the way that you were designed to show up in the world, well, all I can say is over time, there's a light bulb that clicks that makes you say, well, gee, you know, maybe I'm just a little bit different than everybody else. And the truth is, you are. You are a half man, half horse in your own way, or half woman, half horse in your own unique way. And so there's the explanation in case anyone was like, what the heck does he mean here? That's what I think I mean. But if you get some other meaning from that video, that original video, please let me know in the comments because I am super curious and I'm an undefined guy. So receptive.